online best friend. I hope you've had a beautiful week. I hope you're having a good time. All right, so the question for today is actually interesting. But the more interesting thing is the person that I'm actually doing a question with. She is, oof. You know how you've got like people that you look up to in your life, people who have done like a lot of amazing things, and you respect them for what they do and what they've done and stuff. She's let me not say too much because I'm gonna spill the beans. But here's the thing. This is what we're gonna be talking about in this episode. We're gonna be talking about Married at First Sight, because this lady has actually appeared on one of the seasons on Married at First Sight. Married at First Sight, for those that don't know about it, it's a reality TV show that happens in Australia. I think it happens once a year. I really don't know. I only really watched it when she was on it because I know her. Other than that, it's more like a girl thing.
I am John Kay, I'm the light of Africa. I'm your online best friend. I am John Kay, I'm the light of Africa. I am John Kay, I'm the light of Africa. Yeah. Your online best friend. I am John Kay, I'm the light of Africa. Perfect. I agree, I'm not that perfect. I spend my quota on a bracelet. I sacrificed it for the Lola. Celebrated with the locals. It's a bliss, spread my wings like an angel. It's a bliss, spread my wings like an angel. Any in my cup.
And the question for today is, how do you know if you're dating the right person? Because you can date someone for like 5 years and not be happy, 10 years and still not be happy. Because these days we've got so many things that we focus on, you know. If you look at our parents back in the days, like our grandparents and stuff, even if they will be put together as an arranged marriage, somehow they'll make it work. They'll stay together and things will work because they had so much less things to worry about. Whereas today, we have so many things to worry about. We got Instagram to worry about. We got Instagram pictures to worry about. We got Instagram hosts to worry about. We got so many things to worry about. And sometimes the more we focus on those unnecessary things, is the more we make ourselves depressed and sad and start unnecessary fights in our relationships and stuff. So that's one of the things that I've learned actually this week. And this episode is actually going to help so many people out there who are in a relationship. You could, like, I'm not saying this episode is going to make you break up with whoever you're dating, but it's going to make you evaluate your relationship, you know, see where you're going, see where you're headed, see if you guys are on the same page, you know. So stay tuned. And the wonderful lady for today, the one on the show, her name is Gabrielle. Now, Gabrielle is a superstar in Australia. Don't get me wrong. She has done a lot of things. But this is how we met. I think it was during my film Irreversible Choices. I did a film in 2016 called Irreversible Choices, and she was one of the actresses. She came to the audition, and I think I was busy. I don't even remember like paying too much attention and stuff at the time. But after we started working together on that movie, she was amazing. I think on the scene that we played together, she was my boss, and she was the people who were on my side when I was getting fired for the job that I was working for in that movie. And then from then we just became friends, and we started talking and, you know, connecting. And because she's like an amazing person, there's nothing you can dislike about her. There's literally nothing I can dislike about her. She's amazing. And she's, like I said, she's also a marriage celebrant, so she has like a lot of knowledge. She's got a lot of friends who are in you know, higher ups there and stuff, and she gets to know a lot of, you know, stories. So if you stay tuned, you're gonna learn something today. Okay. All right, guys, welcome back again to the show, my online best friend. So today I'm having a chat with Gabrielle. This is a studio. This is like a filming studio where people come and they use this studio and stuff like that. So I spoke to the owner of this studio and I was like, I'm doing something, you know, I want to come and, you know, have a quick catch up with Gabrielle and record this here. So she said, oh, come through. So that's why you see all the lights at the back there and the cars. Yeah, it's next to the main road. So it's a good place if anyone is doing any shooting. It's a good place. Yeah.
Definitely.
How you been?
Well, I think I'm being pretty good. It's been a long time between hellos there, John.
I know. Yo,
Yeah.
I haven't seen her for like a long time, but we've worked on 2 films before, Irreversible Choices and Cop's Enemy and stuff, and I'm telling you, she's been amazing. She's a blessing to my life.
Oh, well, the thing I say about John is that he has the magic wand over me where anything he asks for, I say yes.
She actually does, man. Oh, man.
I'll do anything for you, John, and you know it.
I know. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, well, I suppose it's a lot to catch up on.
I know, right? So how's it been after maths?
Oh, maths. Well, you know, I think a lot of people assumed from my portrayal on maths that, well, she's a mum, she's probably one of the older ones, so she's fine. She probably just walked back to her normal life. But do you know what? It was actually harder than that. There was definitely a process to go through once you come out of the reality TV bubble, and quite a vulnerable place that you've placed yourself, and it actually did take its toll. I think that it took its toll on every single person that was on my season. I watched over the next 12 months the aftermath, including my own, and it goes on for it's quite a long journey back to it. It's just so hard to sort of understand. To understand a process like that, unless you've been through it. And for someone like myself who's got an acting background, you would think that it would be possibly a walk in the park, no. Yes, I knew my way around a set. I know what that is.
You know where
I
they
know what
carry,
that is, you know, all that. But you're placed in a really emotionally vulnerable situation, and
it's reality, so you can't really put up any fake stuff, you know, fake emotions or no. You just have to be yourself.
That's it. It's not like acting where I could have given myself a fake name like Fyonda, and that would have been awesome. And it's interesting being yourself on camera. Is a lot harder to me anyway.
You actually get to learn who you are.
You do.
Like there's so many things that you do, like you don't know that you're doing it. So when you're actually being yourself on camera, you're not acting, you know, and that's when you re-watch and be like, oh, okay, so that's me. I know, and
you would have the same too. And in being an actor as well, there's some kind of refuge that you get as being an actor.
You have a shield,
is you get to pretend, play dress up,
something else,
and pretend to be someone else. But when you're yourself and all your words are your own, and you're up for interpretation, you know, like, you know, your viewers will walk away from seeing this little segment and, you know, person A might have a completely different idea of who they think I am versus person B. Do you know what I mean? And that's really scary.
It is. Because everybody will have their own idea of you. But in a movie, everybody sees you for that character.
You get to run away. I think that
I love movies.
I
just love movies because you can be a different person, say things, and no one can hold you responsible for those things because it was a character.
Exactly. And I think I'm a classic Piscean, so they are escapists, and I just find, you know, acting for me has always been the magic, you know, escapism, and that's why I miss it when I'm not involved.
You need to come back.
I know.
You gotta come back.
I know. I really, this very conversation is planting some seeds with me. When have you got auditions coming up?
Oh man, for me, you won't need to audition. But for any producer out there watching, if you have her on set, it's a blessing. Trust me.
I'd love the idea of doing a monologue. And actually, do you know one of the things I miss?
Yeah.
I haven't done any acting for about 2 years, and I was wrapped up in a horrendous contract with the production company, so it really locked me away for a long time. But one of the things I really miss is the audition wheel of, I miss the whole process. I miss going to an audition and going, oh my God, I stuffed that. Or even like, you know, when you go into an audition room and you're in the waiting area, and then you see all the different copies of yourself, like people who
trying to get that role.
So people who are the same demographic, the same color hair,
and you're like, are they gonna
same
pick
height.
them up on me?
And in the audition room, I used to love watching all the power play when you're waiting to go into your audition, and you know, Margaret will say, oh yeah, how you been? And you know, Brianna will say, yeah, I've been really busy. I've been, you know, doing this and doing that, and you know, they're all trying to up themselves, and it's so funny. But I just miss, amongst all the people that, you know, were identicals of me fighting for the same role. I also made some really nice friendships of just that camaraderie and people like yourself, and that network was really beautiful to be a part of, and like-minded people, you know, fellow escapists like you. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
So but you had a lot of fun on the show though.
Yeah, I mean, I did. Who couldn't say that it was like a wild adventure? And it's
like the whole country was watching, man.
Yeah.
Everyone was literally,
I know.
especially like when it was that year that you did yours, like when you were part of it. That year was like the biggest, because like a lot of people were actually talking about it more than they are talking about it now. I don't know why, but
it was quite pivotal, I think, that season, and I think
it really
it's
picked.
a lot of storylines. Happened very organically. They were true storylines that evolved, and then because it got so much traction, the producers have obviously gone, aha, we need more of those storylines, and that's what they've then now manufactured. So it was quite pivotal, you know, being part of that season. But when people have asked me, was it a good experience or was it a great experience, I find myself saying it was a big experience. I don't necessarily, because a lot of it was awful.
Okay, so let me just say this, because I know maybe somebody wants to ask this question. If you were to redo it all over again, without giving us any reasons, would you do it again? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. So we're not going to go into reason. Do you want to go into reason? It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll make a reason.
Okay.
Tell you what, if I was a 22-year-old hot little thing that really wanted to have some fun, leveraging social media to promote some brands and make a bit of money and get some free stuff, go to some cool parties, absolutely, I think you should do it.
Okay.
But if you were someone like myself who was older, who was convinced by producers that they were genuinely going to match me with someone compatible to me, that intention was never there. So for that reason,
I think they just wanted to make the show.
And I genuinely really wanted to meet. I wanted the opportunity of being professionally matched to someone compatible to me. And I think that a lot of people who have been single for any amount of time, wanting to meet someone, if they were given that opportunity, they would at least think about it, because the opportunity to be matched professionally to someone compatible is cool.
If they don't give you, if they give you someone who's not 100% compatible with you, it actually makes the show. It makes the show.
And I knew that, I mean, it's a pretty hard thing to do to match someone. So, like,
100%.
Of course, it's so hard. It's hard. But and if there is some formula out there, they'd be a billionaire. But I was prepared that the person may not well be my person, and I might need to navigate my way around. But I was willing to do that under the impression that I was going to be professionally matched to someone compatible to me. But once I got in there, I realised I was thrown to the wolves, or I guess in the lion pit, and they were just wanting to see how I wrestled the lion. And that's what then my head had to switch to. And I remember being in a bit of grief
Yeah.
while we were filming. I remember feeling grief
Yeah.
because I was so looking forward to meeting that person,
Yeah.
and then to find out that they were the absolute opposite of the type of person I wanted to meet, or that I would have ever thought, or any of my friends and family, or anyone who'd ever met me for 30 seconds had ever thought
Yeah.
would be compatible to me.
Yeah.
That's when I remember thinking, I have to navigate my way now
Yeah.
through this. I'm not going to have, I won't have met anybody.
I think if I was on that show, I would have just put on like a character. Like, you know what? I'll go with it.
Well,
I'll be fake the whole time and just give you guys a show. That's it.
Yeah, well, I
But
couldn't even leave. Like, I wanted to leave, but then you get convinced to stay another week, and
Oh, for
there's
fuck's
a
sake.
lot that goes on that they're not your own actions. They're your own words, but
Yeah.
it's not scripted. A lot of people ask if it's scripted,
I don't
and
think it is, yeah.
it's not scripted.
Yeah.
But there's certainly your influence to say that. In fact, sometimes it's more bullied rather than influenced. You know, there's been times we had filming and they were wanting, like at dinner parties, the dinner party scenes, and if things weren't exciting enough, well then they'd stop everything and producers
Yeah,
come in
what's
and say,
going on?
I know you've got a problem with him, you need to talk about it. I know you've got a problem with her, you need to talk about it. Yeah, so...
And when they talk about it, don't they just shoot it? Do they just shoot it to see you guys talking about those issues?
Yeah,
Ah.
yeah. So, yeah, they've...
Kind of crazy, man.
Oh
It's
my
fire out
God,
there.
it was full on.
Yeah.
But there was obviously some fun moments, and like I'm up for an adventure, you know, and that's
Yeah.
I think you have to be a bit game to do it, and I'm a bit game.
Yeah.
So I look like a normal conservative single mum, but I'm a bit game.
Yeah.
So
No, you killed it. Like your show, it was hands down. It was the best.
oh,
I think people loved you the most.
oh, is
Honestly, to be honest, when your show was going on, like I didn't watch it too much, but when you were part of it, like your parts when they were showing, I was mostly watching.
yeah.
And I know a lot of people were actually watching you as well. Like you were like the biggest favorite person
Aw.
of many people. Which
Are you not
which was
biased
cool.
a bit
No,
because you know
I'm
me?
being- No, I'm being
I'd be
serious.
just saying the same about you, John. If there's the roles
You'll be
reversed,
lying.
no, I wouldn't. No. I mean, it was good. Thankfully, I didn't have any of that awful trolling and all of
Oh,
that
yeah,
negative
which is
stuff.
good, which
Thank
is
God.
Social media is disgusting these days.
I know.
I'm
There was
telling you.
so many people on my season had death threats and like
Yeah.
full-on death threats.
Yeah.
And by that stage, we then had learnt that paparazzi and all of that knew our home address,
Yeah.
and that our personal information is accessible.
But do you think, it may not be right, but do you think somebody from the production may have leaked those information?
I don't know if it's
Or
production.
sold them?
I feel like I get the feeling within the PAPS network, it's different personalities or different people with profile are worth different amount, and I think it gets sort of sold or swapped
Yeah, but
between
that's
them,
bad.
and then some of them work together, so they can capture.
Like
you
there's
know,
a lot of subcontractors.
I think so,
involved.
yeah. I mean, and some of them were quite lovely in terms of PAPS. I remember,
Yeah.
you know, you kind of got to see some familiar faces
Yeah.
around the place.
Over and over again.
Yeah. And there was one in particular, and he initially was following me. This is one of the PAPS was initially following me. This is when I was on air, so it doesn't happen anymore, but when I was on air. And then he realised that I had my daughter and her friend in the back seat, and he'd sort of scared them a bit because he was sort of
Yeah.
a strange man standing on the street with
With
a
a
camera. And he messaged me on my Instagram and said, "Oh, hi, just wanted to let you know, it's just me, I'm a photographer,
one,
and
yeah.
I'm leaving you be now, and sorry, I didn't mean to scare your kids."
guys.
So I thought that was really nice. He could have followed me the whole day, or done whatever he wanted, but he
don't
left
get
me.
it.
He left me be. So that
So
was
if
good.
they follow you and take photos and all that kind of stuff, what did they really get out of it? Or they're just waiting for you to do something wrong
Yeah.
and then capture it?
Yeah, or I think when you're on air, there's more interest in people knowing what you're doing in your day to day.
Yeah.
Not now.
But
No
you're
one
a
would care
mother
now.
with a child. Like, they should respect your privacy at least.
Yeah, but if there's money to be made, that's the whole difference.
Bloody hell.
That's the difference.
It all comes down to money.
I know, it does. It does. It really does. But it's been an
Yeah,
interesting
people-
insight to having, like, being being sort of on the inside of reality TV, and especially from the background of acting as well, and the differences between the two, and the similarities as well. But really, really interesting. Yeah, took a while. Took a while to
No, it was
navigate
really
that.
good. It was really, like, for me personally, when they first told me that you're on the show, I was so excited because I know I've worked with you and I can see things happening for you. I was super happy. Like,
if I knew someone who was going to be on the next season of Maths, I'd watch as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's fun to see people that
when
you
know.
know.
The person.
Yeah.
When you know the person, it's like, you're like, whoa, that's her.
I know. I know. You must have been going, wait,
it's
come
good.
say to me.
So, okay, so with this show, I get questions from my online best friends, I call them, like people who watch the show.
Yes.
And somebody asked the question,
Okay.
which I've already responded on this one, but I wanted to see your opinion on this one as well.
Okay.
They said, how do you know if the person you're dating is the right person for you? Now you
How do you
have
know?
so much experience. That's why I feel like you'll be good at this one. Like, you've been on the maps.
Yeah.
It was all about love and relationships.
Yeah,
and
I've been
stuff.
married. I've been
Yeah,
married
babe.
once for real and then once pretend,
On
which
the-
was
on
the
the
most.
show.
Yeah.
So she has all the experience that I don't have, man. Like,
Can't say I'm an expert at it. I'm single at the moment. Just, you know,
you guys listening?
he knows my type. Just
Yeah.
ask him. He knows my type.
I
and
did
hook me
try.
up. How do I know if the person I'm dating is the right one?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I think the word that comes to mind is easy. Not that you're easy, but that it feels easy. That not just when you're going out, you know, with friends, but you know, the day to day, like just chilling and having a coffee. You know, doing zero and it feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
That, along with, I guess, there's the sizzle. And like, there's the sizzle that starts, but sometimes that can sort of peter off after like a date or two. But when there's that sizzle turns into something a bit more soulful, I think that's when you know that you're onto something good.
Real,
Yeah, but I think the relationships I've had where they've been a good thing is when it's felt easy and in all scenarios, not just when you're dressed up and you're out with friends having dinner, but
like the whole time, like conversation-wise, it's flowing right. You know, you don't feel like you're obligated to do anything. You just do it for the love, and the person does it the same way as well.
Yeah, and that lovely moment when you start, your lives start to overlap. So, you know, when they know that you've had a tough meeting, you know, or something good has happened, that you can see that they're really wanting to celebrate with you. Like, I guess...
like they're happy for you. Like
and they know what's going on.
Their wins as well. Like, kind of proud of you. Yeah,
and they know what's happening in your life, like the day-to-day that's happening in your life. And they're invested in that. And I think, you know, one of the things, there's a quote, and I can't remember the full quote, so it's not going to be that great, but it talks about finding someone who can be your witness to your life. And I really like that.
I like that.
Yeah, if you
I
have
like that, guys.
Like that?
Find somebody who can be a witness to your life.
It's on my Instagram, actually. It's the clip from the movie. And
I like it.
It's so beautiful. And in the scene from this movie, he's asking her, why do you want to find someone and get married, or find someone and find love? Why? And her response goes along the lines of, because it's great when you've got a witness to your life.
Exactly.
It's somebody's invested, and
somebody's going to be always there when you're winning, when you're failing.
And she says, and to know that your life will not go unnoticed by someone. And I loved that.
Oh, it's
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah.
That's actually
I do
really
hope I
good.
find that again. So
You
know,
will.
maybe you could do like a matchmaking thing. I'm
This
picky.
will
I'm picky.
become maths.
Yeah, this is maths.
Guys, we gotta find her a husband,
Yeah.
a witness to
And
your
I'm
life.
picky.
Oh, she's very picky.
That's why I'm single.
She's very picky.
Oh no, it's just it's like a needle in a haystack, love, isn't it?
Yeah.
To find it is just like finding a needle in a haystack. And there's nothing sadder than, especially being a single person,
Yeah.
there's nothing sadder than when you see that people have found that needle in the haystack and they don't look after the needle.
That's what
You
I'm
know?
saying. You look at it and you're like, I wish that was me. Like, I know what I would do with it.
Yeah, and there's so many people I have seen, they really take for granted that that needle in the haystack they don't realise is so hard to find.
It.
But you can
until like it's gone. That's when they're like, you know what? That person was amazing to me. That person was this, and then it's still there.
And you know, humans, we suffer from the grass being greener, don't we? You know, that whole thing of, oh, hang on a minute, but you know, who's hot, who's hotter? You know, there's a lot of people who fall into that.
And I think that's one of the big issues that we are facing at the moment, because it's like in our minds, we thinking about who's hot, who's hotter and stuff. Instagram photos is fooling a lot of people. Makeup and all the kind of stuff. And like
filters.
I feel like people should focus on like someone who's always gonna be there, somebody who's good for their soul and everything, not somebody who's good on photos and stuff.
Yes.
Because I know there's people who will probably be bragging everywhere they go. They say, oh, I've been married for 9 years, 10 years and stuff. But I'm telling you the truth. None of that 10 years, they were just depression.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And 10th year, then here celebrating, I've been with this person for 10 years. But you really, like, the truth is, that person wasn't really living. That person was just maybe living in someone's shadow.
Yeah.
You know, and not really living their own life.
Absolutely.
So there's really nothing to celebrate there.
Oh, absolutely. And I think a lot of people strive to find their person. They want their life to be an Instagram life.
Yeah.
And they don't realise that all those things that they're watching on Instagram have a filter, and it's a show reel of people's best lives. Yeah. You know, and I think we're all guilty of that. You know, if you see me sort of, you know, having a really off day and I'm, you know, looking and feeling crap, I probably won't put it on Instagram. You know what I mean?
Honestly, nobody does.
No,
like, you don't put your worst moments on Instagram.
No.
That's why people shouldn't be fooled by that.
That's it. Or I think just to have some understanding about it. But it's it is a hard thing to find. And I saw this quote this morning actually, and it said you should always focus on how much your man. It was like a girl's thing. You saw your man or woman, how much they love you and how they treat you. Focus on that more than how much you like them. Yeah. Figure it out. Like that should be first, really.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to put it into. You know, I'm trying to let it
sink
in.
Yeah. But I kind of quite liked it. I thought we
focus
often
on the way they treat you and
first,
instead of how
much you are into them. Like I don't know. Like
I
kind of buy it. I kind of buy it because there is a lot of us who, you know, when they meet someone, they can easily go off onto oh my god, before they stop to go and how are they?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, are they treating you like a queen or a king?
Yeah, because you might be the one putting all in them, and then because you're putting all in them, you're really just doing you happy and everything. Yeah. You're not really focusing on what are they giving you back. Yeah. Like, you know, how are they? What are they adding to your life? You know, what are they helping you with and things like that?
And how are they putting their love for you like in action rather than like talk?
Say it, but not show anything.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy to say, and it's hard when you know you're caught up with if you're not easily or often drawn to a certain person. If you all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, it's easy to forecast and go, we're going to make great babies and all.
And you just no, but that's the thing, because a lot of people actually just focus on the looks and focus on all of that, and then when the baby comes, baby comes, that's when like the life really kicks in. Yeah, that's when you both gotta be responsible for someone. You both gotta buy a house or rent a house or something. You know, Like, and there's so many people that focus on the wrong things, and then
Yeah.
when they actually end up into that life where they have a baby and everything, the love fades away.
Yes.
Because there's nothing concrete for that love.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing that it was sitting on. It was
Yeah.
just like fun.
Yeah.
You know, she will look good on my photos. She will look at this and that, and that's that. And then when that moment happens, it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
do I really want to spend the rest of my life with this person?
Yeah.
Like the conversation is not there. You know, that fire is dead.
Yep.
You know, that sweet romance moments, like, you know, like what you doing today, you know, have a nice day, that
Yeah.
check-up text is
Yes.
all gone and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, like there's someone asked me once about sort of the dating subject, and I remember hearing something I really liked, and it was tips on marriage. I was like,
Yeah.
probably best not to ask me, but anyway.
You got experience.
But not great outcomes, but anyway. But I remember hearing someone say you should never stop dating your partner, because I think especially with kids, as you were saying,
Yeah.
you turn into just parents
That's the thing.
and you forget to date. And that's so hard sometimes when you've got not family around to babysit, and
Yeah.
logistics is really tough, money is tough, so you can't go to a 5-star restaurant, take a photo of it and put it on Instagram,
Yeah.
you know.
But you know, like for anyone listening, like what you just said is so true. Like I've seen so many families do it. Like, because I'm very close to my community.
Yes.
So when I look at my community, like my African community, I mean, like I can see that happening sometimes.
Yeah.
Whereas like when they come together, they love each other. They go out for dinner
Yeah.
and things like that. Those little things, like
Yeah.
you know, once in a while.
Yeah.
And then when they get married, they get so caught up in the system, in the system of like, you know, wake up, work, buy a house, pay mortgage,
Yep.
and all kind
Babies,
of stuff.
babies,
and then babies and babies. And then they forget that you're actually not living, and the
Yeah.
relationship is probably gonna die
Yeah.
because you're not really going on dates,
Yeah.
you're not traveling together, you're not doing nothing together, you're not even going clubbing together.
Yeah.
It's like at the end of the day, all the things that were so special about both of you,
Yeah.
you're no longer doing them.
No.
You're doing just kids, work,
Yeah,
and that.
and you can see then from that scenario how easy it is for people to fall into, well,
Yeah.
I don't have any spice going on with my own relationship. We're not dating. We're parents, but we're not dating. And then all of a sudden, someone comes along that you really connect with and they're really attractive. You can see where that allure comes from,
Yeah.
because they're not dating anyone.
Yeah.
They're married or they're parents,
Yeah.
but you couldn't say they were dating anyone.
Yeah.
And you can see how easy, you know, that then you sort of head into that sort of stuff. It's yeah, it's really tough. Why on earth would people have a relationship? I mean, I've just convinced myself out of one actually right now.
You can. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. Us humans, you know, like we're just gluttons for punishment. Hey?
Yeah, and I just think there's so many things that people do when they're just dating, and then when they start living together or when they get married,
Yeah.
they actually stop it as if like they've reached a destination.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what really like that's sometimes what makes the marriage die, because I know like people who are actually married right now, but in a way it's like they don't feel like they're with someone. They
They're
feel
like brother and
empty.
sister.
It's like they feel empty inside, because that love, that care, that conversations, that going out and have fun and living and
Yeah.
stuff is gone.
Yeah.
So it's like they're husband and wife, but they're just living like roommates.
Yes, like roommates.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's so sad. There's a lot of people who are single talk about, oh, I want to be with someone because I'm lonely. But I remember being in long-term relationships and feeling very lonely.
Yeah, that's
And
it.
there's a lot of loneliness that
Yeah.
can happen
Yeah.
inside a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very difficult either way.
Yeah.
It's
Guys, this is what I can say, yeah? I personally feel like if you're married, like try not to focus on the money too much. Try not to focus on working too much. Try to have like a life-work balance. So work, but also have a life. If personally speaking, if I get married, I don't think I'll work more than 4 days. Nah. I want to work 4 days, I want to leave 3 days. Or work 3 days and leave 4 days. If I have kids, when I have kids and I have a family and everything, I want to have 4 days off, 3 days of work.
Whoa.
So that I got time to spend on my I'm serious. Because the thing is, if you focus on the money too much, you can have all the money. But I've met a lot of rich people that are literally unhappy with their
Yeah.
life, and they literally have all the money,
Yeah.
but they're not happy with it because
No.
they spend so much time stressed over the money, stressed over the
Yeah,
business,
yeah.
and they actually forget. This truck is annoying. Sorry guys, there was a truck annoying you right now, and they forget that they need to actually live and have time for their family and have time to actually have fun.
Yeah.
Because you can die anytime, and wait, where are you going to take that money?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You can't take it with you. I remember saying to a friend of mine recently, she was talking about, you know, how to spice things up, and she never goes out with her husband anymore, and they just kind of like ending up feeling like they're roommates. And I sort of said, you guys need to sort of like make Friday nights your night, like date night, Friday night, every second Friday, depending on, you know, your budget. And she said, we're really saving, so we don't have money to spend. And I said, you know what, you could still, all you need to do is grab, you know, some prawns from the seafood shop and a bottle of wine and go and sit somewhere beautiful. And
Absolutely,
you know, like you don't actually have to, you don't have to be in a 5-star restaurant for it to be a date.
Absolutely.
Or do something different. Like there's another couple of friends of mine, and she dragged her husband, and he was kicking and screaming. But she said, we're going to do this, and it's going to be our hobby, and we're going to love it. It's like she really bulldozed him into it.
Boom.
And it was pottery. And he was like, oh, what? I don't want to go to pottery. It's Monday night. Come on. She was like, come on, just do it. Just do it for me. They love it. They look forward to their Monday nights, and they're there with the wheel, and they've made like almost like a whole dinner set of stuff together.
I mean, that's
and they
good.
love it, and he loves it.
That's really good, because
Yeah.
that brings a lot of memories back, a lot of like, you know, fun back into the marriage.
And just a
stuff.
little something fun and silly that they can do. It's just for the two of them.
Yeah.
And it doesn't involve alcohol, and they love it. But she just thinks, yeah, I get to say I told you so.
Yeah. Guys, this is actually, it just gave me like an idea. So we're going to continue talking in the next episode, okay? But the next episode, which we're going to end this one here. So we'll see you guys in the next episode. But what we're going to talk about in the next episode is how to kind of revive your marriage back. Like if it's dead one, how do you bring it back? Like how do you bring that fire back into the marriage again? How do you feel like you are loved again? Because your husband probably cares about you, or your wife probably cares about you, but there's so many distractions in the world that's making you not actually focus on the right things that you're supposed to be focusing on. So guys, this is before we started filming here. So I came here this morning and they said this is the studio I'm gonna use, and I'm like, what? So I started looking around. I'm trying to picture like, where can I put what can I do, what, you know? So then and behind this there's like a lot of lights and things like that, because it's like a filming studio. So I was like, you know what? Let's fix it, right?
I am John K, I'm the light of Africa. I'm your online best friend. I am John K, I'm the light of Africa. I am John K, I'm the light of Africa. Yeah. Your online best friend. I am John K, I'm the light of Africa. Your online best friend. Yeah, I agree. I ain't that perfect. See, I made a lot of mistakes, but the difference is I acknowledge it. Family and friends see the learn from my mistakes. I'm not that perfect. Yeah. See, I'm not that perfect. I'm John K, I'm the light of Africa.
Now that we have a nice background, as you can see, if an object comes in the middle of it, it fucks up the background, you see? But if I'm far out of it, the background is good, right? So that's why we use lights.
I am John K, I'm the light of Africa. I am John K, I'm the light of Africa. Yeah. I am John K, I'm the light of Africa. Yeah, I agree.
And now, this is the studio that we use.